In this lesson, we will learn how to model a vintage table. As you can see here, the vintage table is made up of 4 pieces: the disk, the top disk, the rim, the base, and the legs. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna change the view to top view. In order to create these pieces, we will stack them vertically and then arrange them to get this final shape of simple vintage table. So let's start a new file. Not gonna save anything. Change the view to top view, and I will activate the snap toggle button here, so I can draw my object and still snapping to the grid. If you want to make sure what exactly are you snapping to, just right click this snap toggle button just like that and make sure that you are snapping to grid point. So from the create menu, let's go to standard to primitive, and we will pick a cylinder to create the first piece or the upper top piece, which is the disk. So I grab a cylinder, and as you can see, this cursor turned into this yellow cursor, which means I'm snapping to the grid, so it will be exactly created according to grid point. I'm gonna grab it like that, then right click to deselect. I'll change my view to perspective view. Then from modify, let's change the parameter. The radius, it can be 70. The height, I don't need it to be much high. Let's make it 3 because it's gonna be stepped. It will have 3 steps. The height segment 1 is okay. I don't need it to be more than 1. The cap segment, I will keep it to 3. Then the slides will be any appropriate number that can be divided to 4. So 16 is fine for me because I will use Hyperloop or Turbo Smooth in order to make it more smoother. So let's pick the material editor to create a material. That's the one I used in the lesson. I'm gonna delete it. Then from here, let's pick a standard material. From the diffuse color, let's change it to be dark gray, just like that. Press OK, and then assign material to selection. So now if I deselect, I see the lines in black and the material in dark gray, which is fine for me. Okay, let's start modeling. Right click, convert to editable poly. Now we need to change the selection to polygon mode. Let's zoom in, and I will select these pieces here in the middle. I need actually to select the disk, the overall upper disk. So I select this center circle here, then I will grow my selection. I will press grow to grow my selection, press it again to grow it to get the whole area. Now what we need to do, we need to do 2 steps. First one is to insert, and I can make it a value relevant to the height, which was 3. Let's make it 2.5. Press OK, and then extrude. I need it to be something relevant to the insert. Let's make it 2.5 as well, and press OK. We will repeat this action again, but with lower value. So insert, let's make it 2, not 2.5. Press OK, and extrude, make it 2, and press OK. Now I got the base or the basic shape of my disk here, the upper disk. What I need to know is is to use Turbo Smooth. Let's pick it from the modifier list. But look what happens when we have Turbo Smooth. We lost the edges. That's why we have here two solutions, either to use from modeling, polygon modeling. We need to select the editable poly so you can see the whole menu. Modeling, edit, and then Swift Loop. I don't like much to use Swift Loop. It's tricky and it's not accurate. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select my editable poly, then change my selection mode to edge mode. I will double click with Control to select these edges, these 5 edges, 1 2 3 4 5, and let's pick that one too. Let's make them 6. And then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna chamfer, use the chamfer, make it 2 steps, and the value will be 0.3, and press OK. Now if I press show end results on and off toggle, I will see my Turbo Smooth edged. Let's change the iteration to 3 and isolin display. That's my upper disk, and I like it that way. Okay, now next we will create the second part, which is the rim. Before creating or modeling the rim, let's freeze the selection of this Turbo Smooth so it won't change in terms of position or any editing. So freeze selection, right click, and then freeze selection. Now let's change the view to top view from create menu. Make sure we still activating the snap toggle. This time to create the rim, I will use the tube. Then here from the middle, I will drag it just like that. We can change the value, right click to deselect, go to a perspective view, then let's change the value. Let's move it down a little bit and deactivate the snap toggle. We don't need it. Now from modify, I remember the upper disk radius was 70. Let's make this one less with 15. Let's make it 55. The second radius, let's make that 45, for instance. 45 is fine. And the height, I need it to be double or triple this piece here. We started with 3, so 3 multiplied 3 will be 9, and these segments will be 6 segments. Is fine for me. I don't need segments for the cap. For the sides, I need some number divisible to 4, and I need it actually to be a bit large number, so I can make necessary modification. So let's make it 40. From material editor, let's apply the material or assign the material to selection. Now I right click, convert to editable poly, change the selection mode to polygon, and then I need to select this piece here, and then shift select the loop of polygons. I will change to top view so I can see what exactly will happen. I will change the shading mode. I will press F3 from my keyboard so I can see the wireframe. Then using the scale mode, I will scale it down. You see this red line moving? That's exactly what I need here. I need it scaled down. Go inside. That amount is fine for me. let's go again to perspective view and press F3 to see it shaded. That's perfect. Okay, change to selection, and let's select with Control and Shift these other two pieces here, or two loops. We will raise them up as much as we can. We'll do the same for this loop, but we will push it down. Okay, that's fine. Now what we need to do, we need to select this loop and then insert it to an amount such as, let's make it 0.3, not much actually, and press OK. Now what I need to do, I need to just scale it. So I go to top view again, press F3 so I can see what's happening. Select the scaling mode, then scale it up, outward. You see the red line, it's moving outward. Not much, just this amount. Back to perspective, see what we got. Press F3 and here we go. Let's raise this up a bit, not much, just like that. We can scale it down on the x-axis, on the z-axis, make it look smaller. Now I want to make sure that the modeling we made here makes the edge for the rim exactly like I want it to be. If you remember here, if you press the render frame window, that's the edge I want to get. So I will use from the modifier list a turbo smooth, change the iteration, raise it up, and isoline display. Isoline display helps me see only the lines of the editable poly. What we got here, I need this to be raised up just like that. I guess we're fine. That's fine. Okay, so editable poly, modeling, edit, swift loop. Now I'm not caring here much for having accurate edges, so I'm gonna use swift loop to create edges here in the upper part, and that's fine actually. That's fine. Okay, so select the turbo smooth. That's what we got here. Now we need to create the waves. If you remember, we got a wavy shape. How we can get that? We select the editable poly, and I will turn off the turbo smooth for a while until I finish the modeling. I will change my view to top view, and actually I need to make this disk here. I will unfreeze all, then I select that disk and I will hide it. Hide selection. Okay, so I can only see that guy here. So let's change the selection of the editable poly to point mode, and now what we're gonna do, I will select this group of points, then I will count 1, 2, 3. Take the second one. 1, 2, 3. Second. And then we will count them after we finish selection to make sure I selected 10 of them, because as we remember we have 40 1 2 3 segments. 1 2 3. One, two, three. One, two, three. Now let's count them. I got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Exactly, that's what I need. Now let's change to front view, and I need to deselect the upper line here. So I press Alt from my keyboard and then select this line and deselect it. Now we use the scale tool to scale it as much as we can on the y-axis, then using the selection tool to raise it up. Okay, now what we need to make this piece here downward. We will make some scaling downward this time. So we'll change again to top view, and as you recall, it was the middle line. So I leave one, I take the next one, and then let's count again. 1 2 3, take the fourth. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. 1 2 3. That guy here. 1 2 3. You can skip this part of the video, it's not much because we're doing the same thing actually. 1 2 3. One, two, three. Now let's change the mode to front. Sorry, not perspective yet. And using Alt, I will deselect the upper line. Push it down so we can get that shape of the rim. Let's activate the Turbo Smooth and see what we got. I think it's fine. I see it fine. It's fine. Let's go to perspective view. Now right click and hide all, so we got back our disk. Push it up. Let's make it on front view better. It's better to do the arrangement here in front view, and we need it to be a bit wider. So using the scale, can scale it up, not much, just like that. Okay, so now we got the first two pieces, the disc, the rim. We need to finish the other two, the base and the legs. As you remember, we mentioned at the beginning of this tutorial that the base will be a simple cone. We will use a cone. So let's change to top view, activate the snap toggle from create menu. We use a cone here in the middle. We will create the cone. Right click to deselect, deactivate the snap toggle, change to front view. Let's move it down, and now let's change the parameters. Let's make the radius something like 25. Second radius. Let's change the height, then we decide second radius. Let's make the height 30. height segment will be 5 is fine for me, and sides 24. 24 is fine as long as it's a number divisible by 4. That's the position. So the second radius, it's gonna be wider. No, let's make the first radius, let's make it 15, and radius 2, let's make it 30. Okay, this is the base, and not much we will do with it. Let's just apply the material here, assign material to selection, and then right click, convert to editable poly, change to vertex mode. What I need to do here is to change, let's change to wireframe, is to change the shape by selecting all the points, then using the scale, let's scale them. Let's just make it on X, and then Alt to remove the first line, scale it down, keep doing this. No, that needs to be, yeah, like that. Alt until the last one. Press F3. That's what we need. Okay, so let's keep working here on the front view, because the final part we need to create here is the legs. So let's go to create, and I will use the tube to create the legs, and you will see right now why. Let's use the snap toggle, and that's my tube. Let's change parameters. 40 is fine, and radius 2, let's make it 34. 30, that's wide actually, let's make it 36. The height, it's gonna be 4. Height segments, we don't need much of height segments, let's make it 2. Cap segment 1, and sides will not matter to me right now. What I need to do here is to slice it on. You see this option here, activate it, and let's slice it until we get a perfect half. That's it. Turn off snap toggle, and that's my leg. I guess 40 is fine for sides, because I'm not gonna use turbo smooth with it. Using the select and rotate tool, let's activate the angle snap toggle and rotate it for 20 minus 20, then shift, rotate it to 20 on the other direction. Yes, make a copy of it. Let's select both of them using control, raise them up to the middle, just push them to the middle just like that. And now what we need to do with them, with these two guys, we need to make them a bit flattened. So what we're gonna do, we keep selecting both of them just like that, go to modifier list and use taper, then raise the amount of taper or decrease it as you wish. I like it to be just like that. That's fine for me. For this part here we need to change or to make these two loops more smaller. And same here. Okay. These two guys, just raise them. Let's change to perspective view so we can see what we got here. We need to do the same on that direction. We change it to point mode, and then we keep scaling. Okay, for the legs, that leg we need to change the tube. The height can be raised. Let's make it 6 for both tubes, so we get a bit bigger legs. So make it 6. 6 is fine. Let's select both of them, go to material editor and assign material to selection. Now I'm satisfied with this. I need to change them or convert them to editable poly so I can create some smoothness for both of them. I go to edge mode, I select these edges, and the lower ones as well. I keep pressing Ctrl so I can keep my selection. Now I'll just chamfer this to some value. Let's make it 2 steps, and some value like 0.7 will be fine. And press OK. We will do the same for this other leg. Go to edge mode, select these edges, still just one edge remaining, that one. Do another chamfer. Where's the chamfer? 2 steps, 0.7, and that's it. So using 4 basics or 4 basic geometries we created, and some modifiers, actually we created this simple vintage table. Of course you can change other parameters, like the number of segments here to increase this wavy look. You can change the parameters related to legs, anything you wish. Try it with yourself and continue with me to the next lesson.